Recently, there was a movie released, and there was a Netflix adaptation. And just like all Netflix adaptations, they get very weird and very, very cringe. So I want you to look at something super quick, okay? This is the poster that they put on. This is it. It's called Cuties, and it has a bunch of girls. They do be squatting and doing things that we wouldn't necessarily see as something that we'd see young girls wanting to do, right? And this got a lot of backlash. I'm talking like a lot of backlash. I'm talking like really, really bad. Well, let me see if I can find a couple of stuff. They've been trying to normalize pedophilia for ages. I've been saying this for years. People look at me like I'm a weirdo. No cuties, no drag queen story time, no consenting to transition at 7. Okay, so no cuties, all right, no drag queen story time, so drag queens can't talk to children. Consenting to transition at 7. I'm not really sure what you mean consenting to transition. Maybe it's about puberty blockers. I have no clue. Sounds like someone who just like hates trans people. We're gonna move on. Mark Dice, who made the poster for Cutie Sexualizing Children Netflix, who was approving posting the film's description celebrating 11-year-olds twerking. So yeah, so this is the movie. The movie is about apparently, because I haven't watched it and I'm not going to watch it for many reasons, mostly because I don't watch movies. Yeah, it's a massive false equivalence. Hello, it's me from the future. I'm jumping in here to say that one, I didn't go over this, so I want to put this in now. When I say that this is supposed to make you uncomfortable, what I'm referring to is the original poster of the Cuties movie. That one's supposed to make you a little bit uncomfortable and be like, whatever. That one's supposed to make you uncomfortable. Now, referring to what Netflix did, Netflix put that on there specifically just as horny bait. They were using those little kids as horny bait. It was supposed to be a provocative, that is supposed to draw you in like that. That was wrong. That's just horny bait, and that's not okay. Netflix really needs to remove that. They completely tainted what this movie was supposed to be about, and now the director is getting hate. Now the people who worked on the movie are getting hate. I would even assume like the moms of those girls are going to experience some level of like hate from this for no good reason, and it's all Netflix's fault. It's all completely Netflix's fault. This movie was was an interesting take on women coming of age and being used for sexualization. And then out of nowhere, Netflix just uses them as sexualization to make more money. So I want to add that in there. I didn't speak on it as much as I did. Back to your regularly scheduled programming. The movie is about girls who get into this dance group, become really big, and it's about child sexualization. And it's actually was made. It was actually directed by a immigrant woman in France who has who experienced something like that. So one very important thing that I want to talk about. All right, lots of people are made uncomfortable. Yeah, Mark Dice does indeed fuck kids. I don't believe. Listen, allegedly fucks kids. I don't have any proof on this, but I will say that allegedly he probably allegedly fucks kids. One thing, all right? Lots of people are going to be put off by something like this movie, and I think that's perfectly fine for many reasons. This could just not be your thing, but to see children being sexualized, if we're going to be using that terminology, in a way like this should make you uncomfortable, and the movie did want to make you uncomfortable because it's against child sexualization, right? But the thing is that child sexualization isn't really anything new. I remember a while ago, a pretty long while ago. I think about this from time and time again. Every once in a while, maybe like once every like 2 months or something. I remember I was reading a Twitter thread, and someone said that we live in a pedophile society, right? And I didn't really know what that meant. I didn't really like pay it any mind, but for some reason, those words came around harder than it did at any time and became more relevant than any time right now. Let me show you this artwork again. this is the artwork of the Netflix adaptation. All right. So Netflix put this out. Here's the original artwork of the movie. If can we open this in a new tab? Yeah. So here's the original artwork of the movie. So it's the girls, and apparently they went shopping from all the money that they made. They're seeing they have like a bra on, they have like panties over their shirts and stuff. It's, you know, they're rich. They got all the money, and they're coming of age, and it's like supposed to make. I'm sure this is supposed to be like a little cute, but also make you a tiny bit uncomfortable. And they touch on. I've heard that they touch on this in the movie, right? But one thing that I'd like to say is that lots of people are saying this is like new, or this is what the left wanted, or this is like Hollywood sexualizing children, or something weird along those lines. This is, when it comes to like the Hollywood thing, it's kind of true. They are baiting people in with this. They are using the children as like a sex symbol to kind of draw in more attention with it, right? I think that the original poster was provocative enough to get people in. Is that an explosion in the background of the original? It's a feminine explosion. This is actually, you've never seen it since you're a guy, but this is actually the what happens when the second a girl starts to go through puberty, confetti just pops out of her, like behind her. It's pretty crazy. We'd have to ask a woman at some point in time about it, but I've personally not experienced it for obvious reasons. But this isn't anything new. And it's not just Hollywood, because we all know Hollywood full of the pedos, you know, full of like sexual creepiness. You know, I think there's a reason why there's a thing with like Nickelodeon kids going from happy-go-lucky, cool happy kids to being like crack addicts in jail by like 19. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a reason why Selena Gomez was doing heroin. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think the only one doing well is like Miranda Cosgrove. Miranda Cosgrove is doing great. The girl who played Carly from iCarly, and Megan from Drake and Josh. She's doing fine. She's doing great. Everybody else, not so well. But the person said that we live in a pedophile society. I didn't really know what that meant until I did some thinking on this when I saw this earlier today when I was at work. Think about it for a second, right? And this comes a lot from the right. The hyper fixation on girls' youth, right? Just the young lady, young girl, their youth is like so precious. It's like a diamond, you know, that cannot be tarnished. You know, it's just so weird how it's just been fetishized to a degree that's just like unimaginable. You know what I'm saying? Like the people who are like, how dare you destroy that beautiful girl's innocence with your disgusting dick? You know, who was it? Was it like Tyga or something? That rapper who was like, I take my girl in to get to get her hymen checked every single year. Every year I get her hymen checked to make sure she's had no sex. And if she has, I'm gonna beat the shit out of her and any dude who decided to steal her youth from her. You know, just really weird stuff. And like the idea that women hit like this big wall and everything, it's really gross. You hear this a lot from like the MGTOW incel group. That's like, women, they're just fucking around until they turn 30 and all their eggs dry up. Stefan Molyneux did this a lot, like the egg connoisseur who was like, ma'am, I'm just looking out for your eggs, ma'am. Please make sure to settle down with a good man. You don't want to lose your eggs. Before you know it, you're gonna fuck around and you're gonna lose all your eggs, ma'am. Your eggs are very important. You have to take care of your eggs. You know, it's just it's really off-putting to a way that I just don't think of. Yeah, women over 25, they hit a wall, they're useless garbage, and they're just gonna settle down with an alcoholic man that like beats her or something because they spent all their good years being a hoe or something. I don't know. Or like working. Even then, like working is like really big thing. Do you remember Coach Red Pill? You may not remember Coach Red Pill, you know, just like that guy who Destiny debated, and he's like the de facto MGTOW chieftain ever since Stefan Molyneux and those other guys got banned, and ever since Jordan Peterson was in like a coma in Moscow, something along that line. Yeah, Coach Red Pill is disgusting. In his debate with Destiny, he was like boasting time and time and time and time again over like how him at like a 45 or 50-year-old guy is pulling like 18, 19, 20-year-old girls. Like my dude was literally like, yeah, I pick up my girls from freshman year of high school. I still got it. Okay, you're just mad that you can only get like 25-year-old dried up hags, okay, who wasted all their good years being a hoe. All right, I'm breaking hymens left and fucking right. I'm like the Mike Tyson of hymens. I'm breaking hymens every single day. It's crazy, dude. You don't even know how good I am. All right, I got all these girls on my lap. All right, barely legal. Fucking just look at her. Look at her ID. Yup, look at that. Turned 18 12 hours ago. Like my man's literally like, I go to Tennessee, I go to Alabama and pick up girls on the like I sneak them out 1 a.m. on the day on their birthday when they turn 16, because that's when the legal age is down there. And like just go collect them, just punching your way through like barely legal girls. That and like, Piper Perry. Can I look up like a non porn picture of can I look up a non-porn picture of Piper Perry? Is that how I spell her name? This, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to save this image. Don't do this to me. Open a new tab. Oh my gosh, this is so big. This girl, she was like really big for a while. I don't know about Piper Perry's story, but this is just like gross though. Like the braces, she looks like 16, 15. And just like the whole thing was like massive dudes would like lift her above their head like ogres and like slam her on their cock or something. It's crazy, dude. And then I think what they're saying, like we live in a pedo society. I mean, we kind of do. I mean, we joke about like the Discord admins that want to go to Japan or want to go to like Vietnam to go pick up their like little 15-year-old, since it's legal there, like wife. I don't know. Yeah, true. Fuck Steve Bannon. I don't know, dude. It's just really, it's really weird, and it's a lot. I don't know, and it's so weird coming from the right, because they'll be so passive on this. They'll be passive on it. They think but they're all still in the gay people are pedophiles. Drag queen story time is indoctrinating kids to be gay or like trans or something. They'll say all this, but then Trump will literally brag about barging into the like teen Miss America's changing room, like a changing room for like 15-year-old girls. He'll like kick the door down and like have a bunch of like prepubescent girls under his arms, like that guy, like the dude who was buddies with Jeffrey Epstein. He was like, yeah, he just like me, he likes them young. He loves just like me. He loves beautiful girls. His girls, little young, but we both like beautiful girls. Like that sort of thing, like that sort of passiveness on it. That's really, really not okay. Or like the people who are like reject modernity, like we have to return to monkey. Embrace tradition. You do know like those dudes who came back from like the war and everything, like those 18, 19, 20, 21, 23-year-old dudes were like proposing to 15-year-old girls, right? Like that used to be just a thing. People's grandparents, they'll be like, yes, I remember back in the day when your grandpa picked me up from high school, picked me up from middle school when he got back from college, just like, excuse me, excuse me. They'll be like getting married at 14 to like 19-year-old dudes. Like that's pedophile society. Okay, we've gotten a little bit better at it, but it's still bad. And this is even I've heard a lot of people say this with like things like dance moms and everything, right? But even dance moms wasn't like that bad. I don't think like I don't know why there's such a thing as like child beauty pageants or anything, but I think at least like Dance Moms isn't as overtly sexual as some of these other things are, you know? And like those things with like the 18-year-old like teen, like the one of those big groups on like porn sites, like teen barely legal, yeah, I just turned 18, like that sort of stuff. That's it's just so weird. It's so weird. I don't like it. But the right will be the ones who are going to pearl clutch so hard about it. This movie, like I said, was supposed to make you uncomfortable. It's about child exploitation and sexuality. It's supposed to make you uncomfortable, and for most people, they thought it did a pretty good job. If you if you could bleed, they could breed. That is true. They did that, and like 15-year-old girls will be having like 3 kids by the time they're 18 or whatever. You know, it's a lot. And people thought that the movie generally did a pretty good job. 82% on Rotten Tomatoes, 60% on Metacritic. Right now on IMDb as 3.1 and 2% on Google user reviews. And like, just look at this, right? Look at this 1% ratio. And I was thinking when I first saw this that this was like for before, but all these 1-star reviews are from an hour ago, 10 hours ago, 3 hours ago, you know? So this is Netflix's response. They're saying sorry for the inappropriate artwork, but the artwork is from the movie. Yeah, it's supposed to make you uncomfortable. That's the point. This is unacceptable. Once again, media entertainment trying to portray Muslim women as oppressed and lack freedom. This has nothing to do with this controversy at all. This show is described as a teen coming of age show how the girls were supposed to be 11 years old. My children are going to love this movie. They have been doing the dance the little girls are doing every day. I too have decided to do the dance too. Not even going to watch it. Just the fact that I hear this movie is about tweens in a dance team that twerks. Yeah, okay. So I think what we can take away from this, I really think this like highlights how for a lot of times we're pretty permissive on a lot of weird things pertaining to young girls' bodies and their sexuality. That, and also the right being eternal hypocrites for pushing through people like Trump while shitting on people like Clinton, and people like Trump have been outwardly really creepy around young girls and boasted about it in his lifetime. So I don't know, dude. Movie's really weird. Try not to be super creepy about young girls, okay? They're just people. You ruin their life experiences by treating them like sex objects when they're not even old enough to have sex yet. Okay? Calm down. And Discord admins, I'm looking at you. I know you're there. Reddit mods as well. All right? Calm down. There's a special place for you in the gulag. That's all I'm saying.